The sandy mask is the primary spirit of the Sandy Ubuntu Society, but it's actually a Sowi mask because it's associated with a spirit, Sowo, that comes from under the water. The women within the society are sworn to secrecy, like in a sorority, but they also learn certain lies that they are trained to tell everyone else. And it's amazing that you can go through 4 countries and everyone will be telling you the same lie, but they have passed it along. So when a foreigner or someone from outside sees this mask and you ask, where did it come from? Everyone will tell you the same story, that the light shined through the forest and it hit on the water, and this spirit rose up, and it was this mask, and the women went and took it, and it's coming from Sowo, who lives below the spirit that lives in the water. So it's called the Sowo, and then the person who uses it and wears it is a Sowi mask. So that's where the name comes from. And it is supposed to show the ideals associated with a perfect woman within their society. It is supposed to act like a perfect woman and look like a perfect woman. If you look at the neck part first, going around here, can you turn it a little bit to the back? You see 3 rings going here. These rings, the women will tell you that they are made by the ripples in the water when it was pulled up out of the water. But when you go talk to men, the men will tell you this is the ideal of beauty, the way a woman should look. And they love women who have symmetrical lines around their neck. And the men will also tell you they think that's related to health. They think it's health related. So these rings are one aspect. The second aspect is the hair, the coiffure. You see all the little designs here? People really would not make hair like that, but when they make the design here, it is designed to show the organization and the symmetrical beauty, and it shows that the people are very organized and together, and that's what the hair shows. And very often, something appears on top of the head, like this pot. The pots always have 3 prongs to them, and it is supposed to show the beauty and the skills that are associated with women cooking and providing food for their family. And in a good Bundu mask, the facial features all fit within a thing the size of a human hand. It's supposed to be small. The eyes will be there, the nose and the mouth, and the eyes are always sort of bent down, and there are very small slits in the eyes because the women are not supposed to be looking at things that's not their business. And this is what the Sowe will be training the people. Don't get involved in other people's business. The mouth, you're not supposed to be gossiping and talking, so you'll have the small mouth. And also the same things relate to the smallness of the nose and the ears. The most important part, though, is that you always have the broad forehead. And the broad forehead is an indication of beauty and intelligence that's associated with being a woman within the Bundu society. Every mask has a name, and this particular mask danced under the name of Navo. And we acquired this mask in 1973 through an acquaintance we knew. Can you tell them about how you met the person?
Yeah. When I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Shenge, Mr. A.B.K. Philly was also a teacher in the school. We got to be good friends, and Reggie was there on weekends, so we were all good friends. And he left the village at the end of the school year to go back to his own village. And he got there and he was teaching, and he wanted to start his own school right in his own village. So after a little while, Reggie became Peace Corps staff, and he came to see if Reggie could help him with the school. And Reggie had contacts at the embassy, and they had money for schools. So Reggie secured a grant for the school building, and a Peace Corps volunteered to build it. And then another volunteered to be one of the first teachers in the school. And out of gratitude, he asked Reggie what he wanted, as a gift, and Reggie said a Bundu mask.
And this one had come from Golu, and it actually danced when they dedicated the school. Yeah. And Mr. Feely asked the women if they could donate this mask to us.
And it was a big deal. When they dedicated the school, we went to it, and the American ambassador drove all the way up from Freetown several hours. It was a big thing, and Navo danced.
And looking at this mask, all of the masks to an untrained eye look the same. It's a black helmet mask that just fits over your head. But people look at these masks and they say you can actually read them. A lot of people are illiterate, but they will tell you all the things about the mask and what it stands for. And they call it reading the mask. But they will look at it and they will tell you about the hairstyle. They will tell you about the pot. On this particular one, it's a rope going across the front, so they'll tell you about the rope. The people will tell you that a good Bundu mask always has 3 rings. The 3 rings have a meaning within the Mindi culture and with being feminine. 4 is associated with men, 3 are associated with women. But a person can look at this mask, and from the marks, this mark right here is the Sewa, the middle of the country. They can tell you from these scarification marks what the mask means. All of the masks, too, do not have the eyes in the same place. Sometimes the eye slits where the person looks through. Sometimes they will actually be down below the chin. So you can tell who made this mask and what school by the way it looks.